Is this the ultimate daily driver? After a solid 6 months with the 2024 Tesla Model 3 Performance, I can confidently say it's not just a car, it's genuinely a game-changing driving experience. Let me show you why this might be the perfect car for your everyday life. Today we're diving into my long-term review of the Tesla Model 3 Performance. Over the past 6 months, not only have I tested it, but my wife has also incorporated it into her daily work commute on the days I work from home, and I think she might love it more than I do. So I'll do what most people don't on YouTube and get straight to the point. The car is fantastic. It's full of tech, it can be your literal chauffeur with the latest update, and it has exceeded my expectations in just about every way. Now with the TLDR out of the way, let's talk about the specific reasons why I think the Tesla Model 3 is the perfect daily driver, starting with full self-driving. It's absolutely insane. Whether you're crawling through bumper-to-bumper traffic or cruising on the highway, this feature takes the stress out of driving. It's like having a second pair of eyes on the road. Let's start off with the user experience of launching and canceling FSD. It really couldn't be simpler. If you're already driving and have a destination set in the navigation, you press down on the right scroll wheel and the screen will visually display a blue line ahead of the Tesla model on the display. This is a clear and easy way to identify when the Tesla is driving itself. With the 2024 holiday update, we can now fully navigate from one park location to another location through both highway and city driving, and have the Tesla auto park at the final destination. This means you can get in your car, set the destination, and have the car drive you there, in theory, without having you touch any of the controls once, which really makes it feel like we are living in the future. We don't have flying cars yet, but I guess this is the next best thing. In the event that you need to cancel FSD, you can do it in a number of ways. You can press the same right scroll wheel you used to start FSD, you can turn the wheel with a bit of force in either direction, and you can step on the brake. All of these will create an audio cue that signals FSD has been turned off, and you are now back in full control of the Tesla. You can also see the blue line changes back to the gray line on the display to further confirm that FSD has been turned off. If you've just taken delivery of your Tesla, or are still waiting to be assigned a VIN or delivery date, you'll want to keep in mind that FSD must be activated in the settings before you can use it. It is really easy to do, but doesn't come pre-activated when you first take delivery of your Tesla. So if you're wondering why FSD isn't turning on, check this setting. Now the question is, when would I use FSD and is it really all that useful? And the answer really depends on how much you like to drive and where you frequently drive to. For example, I work in downtown Seattle 2 days out of the week, which is awesome that I only have to commute 2 times a week into the city, and I'm super grateful to have that work flexibility, but those 2 morning commutes can be brutal. It can take me anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get into the office in the morning, depending on traffic and how many people feel like getting into accidents that morning. FSD is of course a paid option on Teslas, but if you're still on the fence about it, I would recommend waiting until you take delivery, using the 1 month free trial, and see how you like it. It's an expensive upgrade, and only you will be able to judge if it's a feature you would regularly use and can justify the cost. Just watch out for any Wile E. Coyote traps on the road, because as Mark Rober recently showed, your Tesla might struggle with those. I've been working on a dedicated FSD video where I show you the times it has worked perfectly, but more interestingly, the times FSD has not worked as intended. If you want to check that video out, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when I publish it in a few weeks. If the Model 3 is going to be the perfect daily driver, it has to not only reliably get you from point A to point B, it should also do it in a way that's tailored to you. From creature comforts to a tailored driving experience, the Model 3 really delivers in a daily driving experience that feels like it is personalized to you. Let's start with how the driving experience can be tailored to match the way you like to drive, because it goes beyond a couple of drive modes or presets. For example, with the Tesla, the driving experience begins before you even get in the car. You can open the app and set your climate preferences, the seats heating or cooling, warming the steering wheel, defrosting the car, and so much more before stepping outside your house. This means that by the time you're approaching your car, it is already at your desired climate. Regardless of the weather outside, the car will be ready to go as soon as you get into the driver's seat. As you enter the car, if you've connected your music streaming account, your music will also pick up right where it left off. And if you travel to similar locations often, the vehicle's navigation will even recommend those destinations. So all you have to do is tap a single time on the screen and your navigation is ready to go. This is one of my wife's favorite features on the Tesla. She's an occupational therapist who frequently has home visits, so these visits are typically scheduled to occur at the same time and day of the week. When she gets in the car, these locations are automatically recommended in the navigation. It's a small quality of life feature that makes a significant difference in the daily driving experience. As I mentioned earlier, with full self-driving, you can have the car drive itself to the selected destination, or you can drive yourself as normal. I really like the fact that at any point you can set the full self-driving, whether you're in the city at a stoplight or on the highway. The feature will continue to take you to the destination seamlessly. If you're enjoying the video, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really goes a long way in helping support the channel and allowing me to make more videos like these. Now let's talk about the seamless tech integration that is likely a major draw for Tesla when comparing other EVs, and especially over traditional cars. I've already covered a few of the ways technology improves the driving experience earlier in the video, so let's talk about some of the more specific features that are really nice to haves for daily driving. First, let's talk about these auto-off turn signals. Some traditional vehicles have the options to tap down on the turn signal stalk to have the indicators on for a small amount of time, maybe 3 or 4 blinks, to quickly indicate you are switching lanes, which is handy, but Tesla's implementation of this feature is miles ahead. Instead of having a predetermined amount of time or blinks your indicator will show before turning off, the Model 3 will wait to turn off the signal indicators until you have completed the lane change. So if you're in traffic and people are refusing to let you into that next lane, the turn signal will continue to blink until a kind soul finally lets you in. But wait, there's more. This is also true for any time your turn signals are on, whether you're waiting at a stoplight or turning at an intersection. When you complete the turn signal will automatically turn off, which, saying out loud, feels like it should be obvious. But if you're used to driving a traditional vehicle, you know you always have to turn off your turn signals manually after a turn. This is why I think the lack of a turn signal stalk has become a non-issue for me. The buttons, like most things, with enough practice become muscle memory, and since you only have to press them to start the turn and not end it, it's really not that big of a deal. Although I will admit at first I was really bothered by it, but after a week or two, I realized how handy the auto-canceling turn signals are, and that was that. A second small but incredibly useful seamless tech integration is the audio cue for when a light changes to green. Again, it's one of those things that seems inconsequential, but really improves the driving experience on a daily basis. Whether you're looking at someone in the passenger seat as you talk to them, or looking for a different song to play while you're stopped at a light, the subtle audio cue that the light is green or that the car in front of you has started to move is a really nice feature. And it absolutely beats the annoyance of someone blaring their horn at you when you don't start moving the moment the light turns green. But hey, maybe that's just the road ragers in my area. On the topic of audio cues, another subtle feature available in a Tesla is Joe Mode. This simple toggle cuts the volume on audio cues from things like turn signal indicators, autopilot notifications, and even the audio cue of a green light we just talked about. It reduces the volume of these audio cues by about half. There are conflicting accounts as to why it's called Joe Mode. Some people say it's the name of the person who requested the feature to keep from waking their sleeping baby with these sounds, and others say it's a play on the average Joe phrase. In any case, it's one of those things you don't really notice until you get into another car and realize just how loud all of those sounds can be, especially in an EV that doesn't have the typical engine noises that would otherwise drown out those audio cues. One of the biggest changes and clear examples of just how tech integrated Teslas are these days is the paradigm shift from a conventional touch-first approach to driver controls to a speech-first approach. By this I mean most cars on the road today allow you to make changes to things like climate, drive mode, or even simply opening your glove box with a knob, lever, or handle. One thing you quickly realize when driving a Tesla, like the Model 3, is you become dependent on the center display to control all of those things. What's less obvious is just how powerful the voice controls are on the car. They allow you to make adjustments like turning on Joe Mode, setting your climate, and opening the glove box, which was one particular annoyance I had with the Model 3, having to dig through menus just to open the glove box. But now, for most of those settings, I will simply hit the voice command button and speak my command instead of digging through the settings. It's an absolute game-changing experience and removes so much friction when driving by integrating tech in a clear and seamless way. If you made it this far, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Luis. I have a background in human-centered design and engineering, which I use to share how tech can solve our problems and improve our lives. If that sounds something like you'd be into, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my upcoming videos. When it comes to cost efficiency, EVs like the Model 3 are hard to beat, especially if you're fortunate enough to have a home charger setup. If you do, you can essentially ignore your charge percentage day to day, assuming you're driving less than the maximum range of the EV you're driving. Because once you get home, you plug in your charger and have a full battery the next day. That means no more gas station stops or EV charging stations like Tesla's superchargers. If you don't have a home charger setup, some would argue that it no longer becomes worth it to own an EV. I can definitely see that point of view, but when it comes to the Model 3, charging at a supercharger really isn't that bad. Based on the driving we do in the Tesla, we are charging once every 7 to 10 days, and although it is far more time consuming than filling up on gas, it's a lot cheaper to charge the Tesla than to fill up on gas in my area. If you're interested in seeing all the monthly costs associated with owning this Tesla, you can check out my monthly cost breakdown video for all the details. I'll have it linked in the description. I've used the roughly 30 minutes it takes to charge to either be productive and script out videos for the channel or chill and watch something on the display. Before I know it, the car will indicate that charging is complete and I can be on my way. Maintenance, on the other hand, can be a little bit of a mixed bag. So far in my 6 months of ownership, my maintenance costs have been zero, which shouldn't be all that surprising given it was a brand new car when I got it. When it comes to EVs, you tend to see less maintenance costs for mechanical components and wear and tear because these vehicles simply don't have as many moving parts as traditional vehicles. But due to the heavier weight of EVs and the instant torque available, tires are typically needed to be replaced more frequently. EV specific tires are also more expensive than regular tires, in some cases 20 to 30% more expensive due to the unique constraints of creating tires with lower rolling resistance for better battery efficiency and lower road noise, since that is something that is way more apparent in a vehicle without any engine noise. In my opinion, one of the most cost-efficient aspects of owning a Tesla is directly related to the previous point of seamless tech integration, but more specifically, that the car simply keeps getting better at no added cost through over-the-air updates. Through the last 6 months, the car simply keeps getting better, most notably with the 2024 holiday update that brings improved Sentry Mode access and my favorite feature, Auto Shift from Park. This feature has drastically improved the driving experience by intelligently understanding when you want to shift drive modes from drive to reverse and vice versa. Before, you would get in the car, hold the brake, and shift drive modes by swiping up or down on the top left corner of the display, which was a very different way of shifting drive modes than a traditional stock or gear selector. Now, with this update and Auto Shift from Park enabled, you can get in the car, step on the brake, and the car will confirm the direction it will drive when you step on the accelerator. No more swiping to select drive or reverse. But it also goes one step further. When you back up and want to start driving forward, in other words, a 3-point turn, a steering wheel and brake icon are displayed, which indicate that if you press the brake and turn the wheel left or right far enough, the Tesla will switch from reverse to drive automatically. It makes driving out of parking spots a breeze, and again, a feature that wasn't available when I purchased the car, but has been enabled with a single download and not locked behind the next model year of a vehicle like traditional tech upgrades for cars. Now let's talk about what is arguably the best reason to get the performance trim over the more affordable options, the fun factor. Or should I say, the whoa factor. Because roughly in the time it took me to say that last sentence, those 7 words, the Tesla Model 3 Performance would have hit 60 miles per hour from a dead standstill. I still find it incredible that for a car that is less than $55,000, you can get that level of quickness off the line. Do you need that kind of speed? Probably not, but will you enjoy it? Well, if you're anything like me, you absolutely will. The performance trim also comes with 20-inch forged wheels, performance seats, and a sportier look with the redesigned front and rear fascias, plus the carbon fiber spoiler. But I think for most people, the real value is how easily you can transform the driving experience from a casual family sedan to a speed demon at the tap of a setting. All this speed does come at a cost though. Tesla quotes a range of 363 miles on the long-range rear-wheel drive variant of the Model 3, with an acceleration of 0 to 60 at 4.9 seconds. The performance, on the other hand, is quoted at 298 miles of range, with a 2.9 second 0 to 60. In other words, you're losing about 60 miles of range for a 0 to 60 that is 2 seconds faster. Do you think that trade-off is worth it? At the end of the day, like any vehicle purchase, you really have to consider the price, your driving habits, what's most important to you, any non-negotiables that are unique to your lifestyle, and let's not forget the smiles per mile, all as factors to help you judge if the Model 3 Performance is worth it or not to you. For all the reasons I covered, I definitely think it's not only worth it, but also the perfect daily driver. But I'm curious what you think. Is this Model 3 Performance the perfect daily driver, or is there another car that you think is better suited for everyday driving? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, if you're new to owning a Tesla, check out this video where I go over 10 of the most common mistakes people make with their Teslas. Or if you're curious about how much it really costs to own this car, you can check out my cost breakdown video here. I'll also link my Tesla content playlist in the description if you want to see everything I've learned about the Tesla ownership experience so far. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day. See you in the next one.